Hi everyone, welcome to today's vlog. Today is Friday the 28th and we just completed the conference. So you're going to see some video from the conference. You're going to see Tawella's speech and you're going to see my speech, and I'm going to add a compilation of photos. So it went great. I definitely enjoyed myself. People definitely came up to me afterwards and was grateful for the tools that we talked about. There's a lot of tools that people just didn't know about. So ultimately my goal has been met, to give people the tools they need to utilize marketing and social media on an easier basis. It's not as time consuming as just some people make it to be. So I'm excited. Now we're going back to the living room to have some more good food. So I'll take you with me. Let me introduce you to everybody in the car. This is Mr. Forbes Dumasami. Let's say your whole name for the people. Okay, yeah, see, I'm still learning, but I'm gonna perfect it before we're done. So, and then we have in the front our driver, Senna.
I'm the chauffeur.
And then,
hi, that's me.
Alright, so this is the crew. So I will see you guys a little bit later. Bye.
I'd like us to just stand up for a bit. Stretch yourself. We're not in a lecture, we're here to learn, so we're here to interact.
Are you okay?
Okay, so I'd like you guys to repeat after me, okay? I want you to say, I am a believer.
I am a believer.
I believe in my dreams.
I believe in my dreams.
I am an achiever.
I am an achiever.
I will achieve my dreams.
I will achieve my dreams.
Thank you. You can take us. And I hope you do believe in that. Okay. So I'm going to give you a brief history about myself. Other than what Nathan said, I am a digital marketing strategist. I went full-time into digital marketing in 2016. I ran my business on a full-time basis. I graduated from medical school in 2013. I have a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Sciences and a Master of Science in Pathology. But I'm an entrepreneur full-time. I don't work in the hospital. So I'm also a Mandela Washington Fellow. How many of us have heard of the Mandela Washington Fellowship? Or YALI? Okay, I see a couple of hands. So I'll explain later in the... So I'll explain later in my presentation about the fellowship as well. So I do coaching services. I'm a speaker, an entrepreneur, a mentor, you name it. All of that in one box. I may look small, but I do a lot of those things. That I'm looking at is how to pitch your business for money. How many of us have entered a pitching competition before? Or have ever pitched anything or stood for a competition to present to people? Okay, this is a very quiet audience. Please feel free. I'd like to know what your experiences are. Okay. So, I've got a couple of questions for you. Why is it that some people achieve success and others don't? Okay. Why is it that two similar individuals, in terms of running their businesses, both are very passionate? One gets to find money for their business and the other doesn't. I know this is a problem that we have, especially as Africans, that when we want to start a business, it's kind of difficult to come up with the funds for it, but it's not impossible. And some people do manage, others don't. So then you should question yourself, why is it that those that manage to do that get to do so, and the rest don't? Okay. What if suddenly you got a rare chance to pitch your business or your idea for money? What would you do? That happened to me. You know, when opportunities hit us in life, we're not always prepared for them. But you've got to prepare yourself because you may never know what happens. Okay. So, as I explained earlier, when I started on my entrepreneurship journey, as you can imagine, moving from a medical school background, a traditional career, to something that is risky was frowned upon by a lot of people. I don't know if there are people here who understand what I'm talking about, but I believe in living my dream. I live my passion because it's my life. I said thank you to my sponsors. They took me to school, but now it's my turn to live for me. Okay. So when I got started on that career path, one of the many dreams I had was to attend the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So the Mandela Washington Fellowship is a prestigious leadership fellowship, okay? And it's very competitive. I don't know if we've heard of the Chevening Scholarship before, the Fulbright Scholarship. Yeah, it's something similar to that. Once you're a fellow, you're always a fellow, and you're a fellow for life. But it's very competitive. Only 700 Africans get to be chosen from 38,000 applications. That's across the continent. So in my country, we have about 25 slots that are left for people, and we have over thousands of applications. But I knew that was what I wanted to achieve. So when I got started, I applied 3 times before I was selected. Remember I told you, I failed, and I failed fast, and I learned. That is how I got chosen to the Mandela Washington Fellowship this year. So I spent a 6-week executive education training at Northwestern University, which is in Chicago, where I met my peer collaborator that you see. She'll give her presentation soon. So this program I was placed in the Kellogg School of Management, one of the top business schools in the world. And we were blessed with lecturers that teach the MBA program there. So it was quite intensive. And one thing they told us was, as part of the program, for you to get the certification, you have to pitch your idea for your business. And that pitch that you're going to give, you're standing to win $20,000. So we thought to say, okay, can I pull out? I don't think I can manage to do that. $20,000, that's too much money. And they said, no, you all have to pitch. So this is why I was saying that sometimes opportunities in life come when you least expect them, but you have to be ready for them. Okay. So I'll use a famous Ghanaian proverb, okay, that says, if an opportunity is not taken when it comes, it passes away. That's how it works. Once it comes, you deny it, it goes on to the next person. It won't wait for you to make up your mind or when you're ready. So now, this is what happened after we're given the chance to do the pitching. Only 4 winners were going to be chosen. Sadly, I didn't get to win. But that's why I'm here to teach you the lessons that I learned from that. Okay. So I'm going to give you 3 tips that I learned from my experience on the pitching idea that I hope you're going to take with you and learn from them. And hopefully you get to win whatever prize money or scholarships that's going to be there that you'll be pitching for. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to look at, okay, prepare yourself, not just your idea. When you are pitching to investors for money or big judges, they're more interested in the entrepreneur and not the business idea. Okay. So I remember during the pitching competition, you know, Africans, we are quite competitive by nature. I don't know about Ghanaians, but I know when I was in school, even when you're writing exams and you'd ask your friend to help, you won't give them as much information because you think they'll do a little bit better than you. So it was the same thing there. People were like, oh no, my idea has to be the best one. I cannot share this with you. Some people lied. You know, you're a company of 1, but you say you're a company of 10 of you, just so that you make yourself look, you know, like you've been in the game for a long time. By the way, I should mention, we were 25 of us that were placed at that university, and there was one Ghanaian that isn't here, but he was with us there. So that's how the program went. One thing that may shock you about investors is that investors are more interested in the person behind the idea itself than the idea. I hope you get what I mean. The reason I say this is because a true entrepreneur is somebody that is continuously innovative, continuously creative, and is passionate. But if they know if they put money into an idea, what happens when it's done? That's it. But they want to have continuous return on what they are putting in. So when you are pitching to a judge, a panel of judges or investors, keep in mind that you need to have a relationship with them. When you are standing up to talk, don't just go and say, okay, so today I'm talking about this, that, and read out your presentation. Even if you have fancy slides, if you cannot connect with them, you will not win. And this is what happened to me. I was told, oh wow, your idea is the best. I showed the best figures. This is how many people I have, I plan to reach. But I didn't win. The people that won had the most simple ideas. And I'll tell you this, the first prize went to somebody So I was there seated and people were saying, oh, Tuela, this money is yours. You're going to win. If you not get the second place, maybe the third place. And I didn't get to win. So this is something that I'm telling you. When you are pitching or talking to people, have that sense to say, these are human beings. They're not robots. These are people that you are talking to. Okay. The second point that I'm going to look at. The second slide I will look at is capture the essentials. Okay. So I know, especially for those of us in business school, we are taught a lot about business plans. Business plans are good, but they change often, and investors know that. So if you're going to stand there and talk about your elaborate business plan from your mission to your objectives to the end, they want to know who are the people behind this project. They want to know your story. Why are you doing this project? Is it just for the money? Is it because you have a place that your sciences that tell you, oh, you go ahead, you become a doctor? I'm like, no, but I don't want to do medicine. I know, you go ahead and become a doctor. And maybe some of us here understand what I mean. When I graduated, my first business line involved filtration of used cooking oil. I don't know if you people know the dangers of reusing oil to fry food continuously. It has oxidants in it causes cancers and a lot of problems. But there's a way to purify that. So I was willing to offer that as a service. Naturally, coming from a science background, that's what I was working with. So, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But the capital requirements are pretty high. As I mentioned, it's kind of difficult to find the money to start a business in this country. So I did write a lot of business plans. I sent them out to government agencies, I sent them out to private investors, venture capitalists. But I don't blame them for giving me a no, because nobody puts in money in an idea that is not proven. So I had learned the skill of how to write business plans. I said, oh, you know what? I can make money doing this for other people. So I started to offer it as a service. I did get quite a lot of clients here and there, mostly older women, but that was what was happening. So I said, okay, I need to get more clients. What will I do? What if I put it up on Facebook? I started to market online. And that's how I discovered digital marketing. Digital marketing for me is a passion because it's continuously innovative, it's dynamic, it's creative, it keeps changing. For those of us on Facebook, I'm sure you can attest with me that when Facebook started in the early 2000s, what it was, it isn't what it is today, because it keeps changing. And I love that challenge. So I've told you my story. When I pitch to investors, they need to know where I'm coming from. I shouldn't just put my titles there, BSc, MSc, we like to fill them up there. They need to know where does this person come. They want to know who the person behind the product is. And that's why it's important for you to state that. Another thing you need to state is your growth strategy. So there are different types of growth strategies. Nobody starts a business for it to remain small. So you don't start up and say, okay, so we plan that our business is going to grow in 5 years. You need to say, how do you plan to get there? People know that we come from different places, different states, different countries, and so certain government regulations may affect your business. But if you don't research to know what it is that will affect you, even in the near future, and you're asked the question, okay, so if this were to happen to the dollar rate, and since you say your business is based on the dollar, what happens if it falls? Or what happens if it rises? You need to know all those things. Okay. So the method a company uses to expand its business is largely dependent on its financial model, competition, and government regulation. So those are things that you need to look at when you're considering your growth strategy. But one thing you should remember is when you're giving a pitch, you only have 5 minutes at most, in most cases. So the challenging thing is to fit all this information within 5 minutes. That's what you do. So that's your homework. You go back and say, okay, how can I get all this information? And you see, the sooner you start, even if you do not have an idea that is set in foot, when you start and you continue to work on it, you get to improve on it. And in time, you find that you become excellent at it, and you get to have an elevator pitch, which is another story for another day. Okay. The third tip that I'm going to talk about is do your investor research. It is very important. If you have the ability to know who you are pitching to, it is your duty to find out who they are, what industry they are in, the companies they've invested in. It's very important because when you are partnering up with an investor, this is a partnership. It's not someone giving you money for a service that you're doing. So if you cannot stand to be in the same place with this person for 10 minutes, you cannot use them to grow your business. Even if they're giving you millions, if you cannot have a relationship with the investor, it's going to fail. And we have seen examples of this even with the bigger companies out there. Many people get to partner up, they don't work out, and the person leaves. We had the CEO of Uber leaving just a few months ago, if I'm not mistaken. He started his company, but he couldn't work with the people that invested in him, and he left it. So it's up to you. Even if it's at small scale, you need to know the people that you are pitching to. Okay? You need to know how much time they'll devote to you and your idea. Sometimes, in most cases, your investors become your mentors. So you need to know, if I'm going to be with this person, are they going to give me the time that I need? Are they going to help me with the growth of my business? Some people may swindle you. Okay? So you need to know where they come from. The other important thing about knowing that is that it gives you an upper edge over your competition. So when you know to say, okay, there are different types of investors. Some people invest because of social impact, others invest because they just want the numbers. So you can imagine if you are investing to somebody who's interested in social impact, and there you are busy showing your return on investments when you're going to break even, and they're like, you're basically wasting your time. And the person who seems to show that they have a bigger impact in the community will win over you, even if your idea was the best. That's something that you should take into consideration. So I'm about to end my presentation, but before I end, I'll share with you my short story. My first experience at pitching anything was back in high school. Okay, so we had the debate club, and I was at a female boarding school, and so we didn't have any guys to compete against, thankfully. Yes, so we would get to stand there, and being part of the debate club was prestigious, and there were only 20 slots a year that were given to people. I thought, okay, I'm not so loud, maybe I may stand a chance, but I knew I'd make it. Okay, so we'd pitch and stand and talk our judges were teachers. Okay, so they'd be there, they'll throw questions at you. For those of us who've been in the debate club, I think you know what I'm talking about. But one thing that I did have was I had the belief I'd get chosen. Okay, belief is very important, which is why when I started this session, I wanted you to say you believe in yourself. Because the truth is, no matter how good you research your idea, no matter how good your presentation is, if you do not believe in yourself, you will fail. You will not get through. Okay. So I'll end with these words from the late Kofi Annan. These words really inspired me when I saw them, and I thought I'd share them with you. To live is to choose, but to choose well, you must know who you are and what to stand for, where you want to go and why you want to get there. Know why you are pitching, okay? Know why you believe in your idea and know that you can win. Because if you don't believe you can win, no one else will believe in you. Thank you.
But then again, if we were to talk about how to be an entrepreneur, I would say how to be a successful entrepreneur. Because anybody can be an entrepreneur. The cobbler who comes to clean your shoes, that's an entrepreneur. The lady who hawks fruits by the roadside, that's an entrepreneur. But is that the entrepreneur you want to be? The answer is no. I'd like to begin with a quote from Dwight D. Eisenhower. Eisenhower was president of the 34th president of the United States of America, and he was in office from, I think, 1956, I think, to 1961. Can you hear me? Don't worry, I'll just shout. And as an entrepreneur, that's one thing you must learn to do. You should be ready at all times to be innovative. It works according to your plan, and your plan you must have. You should always have a plan. But if something skews your plan out of gear, you should be innovative to continue from where your plan is skewed out of gear. So don't be undaunted when your plan gets screwed out of gear. But here I quote, "The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on a section gown, a football field, in an army, or in an office. So this is what he said. Truly, for you as an entrepreneur, what you are is a leader, a business leader. And to be a business leader is required that integrity must be cardinal in all that you do. We live in an era of get rich quick, cutting corners, fast track schemes, Ponzi schemes, get rich quick, and substandard, shoddy items, shoddy presentations, shoddy pitches. Even when you're given 1 hour, it's not a matter of the 5 minutes. Some people, even with 2 hours, still will make a shoddy pitch. So if you don't have it, you don't have it. But I'd like to admonish that you pay attention to the following keys, and let's see whether when we meet next year, because we will meet next, Charles there?
Yes, sir.
We must meet next year, that's compulsory.
Thank you, sir.
So this is not a one-off situation, and we are not going to build or train entrepreneurs by 2 hours in a room, thank you, bye-bye. We must keep doing this. So for those who are here this year, please be sure that next year we will gather here again. And eventually, who knows, Dangote will be here to join us on one of the occasions. So this is a humble beginning, and for me as a priest, I will quote from the Bible, do not despise humble beginnings. It's the first time we are gathering to do this. It will be better next year, but rest assured about that. So don't worry about the empty seats. Many are called, but few are chosen. So you are the chosen ones. And you are the ones who are going to be the Bill Gates tomorrow. And you are the ones that are going to take over from Dangote tomorrow. So don't worry at all about the empty seats. As a matter of fact, let's give Charles a round of applause. I think he's done well. To come up with this idea and to see it through is not a small thing. So, Charles, I commend you for that which you have done here. But, so if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, what should you be doing? What should you be looking out for? I don't want to go into basics. So let's agree that we are all entrepreneurs and we're already in some form of enterprise or the other. But to move ahead, to be the leader of the pack, these are some of the things I believe you want to pay attention to. The key thing for an entrepreneur is you should be seeking opportunity. You must, as a rule, be seeking opportunity. Don't wait for the opportunity to come to you. You should go out searching for opportunity. You should seek opportunity. You should smell it. You should sniff it. And when you get this opportunity, grab it with both hands. And don't let go of it till you transform this into a viable enterprise, or till you profit from it, or till you change your environment. I commend the speakers who are here, who have traveled from their various locations to join us here today. And I believe it is based on this opportunity seeking. When I saw the poster I saw from Zambia, from the US, I said, they are coming to see what they can get from us here. So don't be fooled. They haven't come just to speak to you. They are checking to see what business opportunities there are, in addition to what they are doing in their spheres. It's not a question, I'm not asking for an answer. But I know that you are here to seek opportunities, in addition to what it is that you will give us. We know that you can also take something away from us. So, even at this conference, for all of you who are here, you should be seeking opportunity. Who's sitting next to you? What does he do? What does she do? What business can you extract from him sitting next to you? If you have paid to be at this conference, at the end of this conference, you should get back what you have paid and then get a profit on what you paid. If you simply came here and paid and you leave afterwards, then you haven't done well as an entrepreneur. You must get back what it is that you have paid. Don't worry about how much it is. We did a simple exercise just now, and it was just to test your brains. In the same way, here you are, use this as a sample. What opportunities are there in this hall as we are here this moment? In the period before the MC introduced the speakers, he gave the opportunity for us to interact with one another. And I sat quietly. I was surprised that nobody came to say hello. Nobody said anything to me. And I said, wow, are they really sure they want to learn something? So there's still time. But I'm leaving once I put the microphone down. So this is exam leakage. But you won't get a chance to write the answers because I've given you the answers already. But it would have been interesting for me to have you share with me, ask a question. I did this already. This is the second time I'm doing this week. I did this on Tuesday at the Ghana, Europe, China Business School, somewhere at East Lagos, with a team of young men and young women. So this is the second time I'm doing this.